Michael, being the messy queen that he is. Hey y'all, it's Niecy Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, y'all already know what it is. We made it to the final episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all. It's been a long, drawn-out season, and last night's episode was definitely a finale. It was entertaining, so I'll take it for what it is. Again, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another video, y'all. We are rolling straight into Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm recording that video right after this one, and it should be uploaded on the same day, so stay tuned. And let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so first it starts out with Gizelle's decorating the Christmas tree, cutesy, whatever. Robin is checking out the place because she wants to host a party, an annual Christmas party like she usually does with her husband Juan, or her soon-to-be husband Juan. And they plan to invite around 50 people. All of the ladies are invited except for Monique, which makes sense, is fitting. Monique doesn't want to be involved in group outings. Next, we get Monique going to the same therapist that Ashley went to. Now, y'all, if y'all don't remember, this is the therapist that actually identified Ashley's father issues and like her relationship with Michael. So this is actually a good therapist. And Monique had to sit down with her, and she opened up about always feeling alienated. I felt like I could relate to that, and most Black people from the suburbs can relate to that. You know, whenever you go from one point of extreme, go somewhere with like a bunch of white people and you feel like an alien, and then you go to another extreme with a bunch of Black people and then you talk too proper or you think you white or stuff like that. Yeah, I felt you on that, Monique. One thing that I thought was very telling from this therapy session was that the therapist says you always feel the need to try to prove yourself. And I felt like that's what Monique feels in this group. I actually called that out whenever the fight happened. Monique actually, I could tell she actually didn't plan on fighting until the other girls were laughing and she felt like Candace was stepping to her, basically. Monique felt like she had to prove herself. Now, does that change the fact that I think Monique is a fool? It does not. But it's nice to see a little bit of her backstory and where she's coming from. Next, y'all, we get Ashley and Michael. Ashley and Michael are at the house, and Michael's helping take Baby Dean's 5-month photo shoot. And I'm like, y'all gonna have to show me a little bit more than that to try to pretend that Michael is super dad. I think I'm gonna need Michael to start keeping Dean while Ashley is filming in order for me to really think that Michael is super dad. So that was cute. So while Ashley and Michael are talking, Ashley's telling Michael that Juan is going to propose to Robin. And Michael, being the messy queen that he is, says to Ashley, I know something. That's not going to happen. And Ashley's like, okay, what do you know? And he's like, well, Juan has said things. He's not going to go down that road again. But he never explained what it was. And I saw right through the shit. Michael, we know ever since the party last season or 2 seasons ago, you have wanted Juan's peen. We know that. So I think you're just trying to be messy. Maybe Juan did tell you something in a bro conversation maybe a year or 2 ago, but that's not relevant now. He's going to propose to Robin. They've been living as husband and wife. Let it be what it be, and you stay with Ashley and whoever you be out here in these streets with. During this conversation, they also talk about their dislike for Candace and Chris. Obviously, the only reason why y'all don't like them is because Candace and Chris never lied to protect y'all. They definitely heard you say what you said about Juan. Anyway, that's going to turn up at the end of the episode. Next, throughout the show, we get Candace and her mom at the nail salon. This was also another scene that made me think like, wow, y'all, this is a whole year old. I wish I could go into the nail salon on a regular basis like I used to. I wish I could go places with no mask, or he talking about pick a color. Like, dang, that just made me feel like how nice it would be. Anyway, y'all, Candace and her mom's relationship is much better. You know, since her and her mom have grown stronger throughout this whole situation, her mom has supported her. Candace can see herself doing that to one of her babies in the future. So babies are definitely on the table for Candace and Chris. Next, Karen is at home with Ray. She's packing up to go to HSN to promote her favorites, Ladam, and she finally feels like her husband sees her as a business partner, and Ray is like kissing her on the cheek before she gets ready to go. So it's really, really nice to see the progression of Ray and Karen's relationship from the beginning of the season to the end of the But y'all know that I cannot skip that scene without calling Karen out on her BS. Y'all know I love Grand Dame. Grand Dame is talking about the situation with Candace and Monique and how everybody basically addressed her about inviting them both early. She sticks to her guns and says that she's being neutral. Y'all, honestly, at the beginning of this, I respected that Karen wanted to be neutral. Towards the end of this, Karen is not being neutral. I think that Karen truly believes that Monique needs the most help. And it's also because Candace has the support of the ops. Now, if y'all been following me, y'all know the ops are Gizelle and Robin. So since Candace already has all this support, she's not going to give Monique the short end of the stick. She also don't want to ice Monique out. Now, I think she's in a sticky place. I think she's not really being neutral. And if she were to explain that, I don't think it would help the situation anymore, but it would honestly make sense. And y'all, let's go ahead and skip storyline. So even whenever we get to the Christmas party and Karen shows up late after saying she wasn't going to show up, she says the truth will come out. And I was with Candace on that one. What truth are you talking about, Karen? You were there for the fight. Are you talking about her police report where she says she released the glass? Like, she's holding on to any bit of something in order to defend Monique. So no, I don't feel like Karen is being neutral. I do feel like Karen is using all her might to try to not side with the ops and to also try to protect Monique from having a spot on the show next season. So y'all, in the middle of the show, we get Robin and Juan going to counseling. And it is super cute. I didn't realize they had been together for so long. They've been together since 1996, y'all. Robin touches a little more on how she felt whenever she had her two young sons and that Juan really wasn't in the picture. He was in the NBA. She mentioned this whenever they were on their trip to Portugal, but it was nice to see her expand on this. They're both in a good place. They've grown a lot and they're in love with each other. So I'm all here for the proposal. So now all the ladies are getting ready for the party and Gizelle is talking to the people who live in her phone and she's talking to Cal, their hairstylist who be having her wear that double shift wig. And she's taking Cal to the party. Really, Gizelle? Really? Gizelle's excuse was that Jamal is a pastor. Jamal Bryant, I'm sorry, y'all, is a pastor and it's a Saturday night and he has to be in the pulpit on Sunday. Candace is also performing a song. She's practicing her vocals in the car and she's telling Chris, I'm not going to yell tonight. And Chris is like, why are you saying that? Like, why would you yell? Like, girl, don't be on no. She talks about how she feels about Karen and then she finally sees Karen's true colors. So as the ladies are arriving, they start talking about how Karen sent a BS text message saying that there was mechanical issues or something like that and that she wasn't going to be coming to the holiday party. They all think that Karen isn't coming to the party because she don't want to get called out on her bullshit for inviting Monique and Candace to her wig shift party early or at the same time. All the girls are pretty much good with Karen not being there. They're pretty much like, okay, she don't want to show up, whatever, is what it is. So Gizelle's at the party and she is actually doing really good best friend duties. I will say that. That's the compliment I'm going to give Gizelle tonight. She was doing good best friend duties. She heard from Ashley what Michael said about the proposal probably not happening. He was just being messy. And she goes to Juan and she's trying to figure out what's going on. Whenever Michael shows up, he walks up to the bar and he's ordering Coronas all night long. And he actually pulls a Karen and says, I don't drink anymore. He's one of those people where whenever you drink too much liquor, the truth starts to come out. So a couple seasons ago, whenever you said you wanted to Juan, the truth was coming out, and that's exactly why you're being a hater tonight. He starts loading up on these Coronas, y'all, to be able to get through his man proposing to his wife. And Juan finally proposes to Robin. It was super cute. I feel like it was super unexpected. Robin's talking on the microphone, just saying, okay, you guys, go back to drinking. It's an open bar. Y'all, that was definitely shade from episode 1 whenever, who had the cash bar? Candace. Candace had a cash bar at her engagement party, so that was definitely shade. And Juan walks up to the microphone and he proposes to Robin and he says, I want to do it again for the second time. And it made me think about 17 again, the movie with Tia and Tamara. It was just super cute. They were in love, got a divorce, fell out of love, fell back into hard love. So I'm super glad that we could close that story for Robin this season, and we don't have to go into another reunion asking her when Juan is going to propose. A special guest that we get tonight is Miss Charisse, y'all. She was a special guest in episode 1, but keep in mind, they didn't put her name on the screen in episode 1. She was also at Wendy's baby naming ceremony, and they never showed her on camera. But for some reason tonight, whenever she walked in, they put her name on the screen. So I wonder if she got a friend of the show credit tonight and a little extra coin. She's somewhat involved with the mess that happens between Monique and Candace. So it's relative that you know who she is. So they're trying to prep us for the reunion because Charisse's name is definitely going to be brought up. Next, y'all, Candace performs her song, I See You, the remix, and they had some technical difficulties with the volume, but overall, they got it fixed, and Candace sounded really good. Y'all, I forgot to mention, after the proposal, Michael walks up to Juan and says something like, you know, no matter what they say, I've been loyal to you. And Juan is saying to him, like, okay, like, you ain't got to say nothing to me, man. Like, we good. So they go to the bar to celebrate, and they say, let's take a shot. Ashley pops up like, you drinking tequila, baby? You drinking tequila? Now, Ashley, tequila did not make your man go lay up in that hotel room with that woman. Don't monitor that grown-ass man. He's 69, 70 years old. Let him take a shot of tequila. But now that we see how the episode ended, maybe I see why she didn't want him to take a shot of tequila. Juan is, you know, taking a shot with Michael, and Michael says, yeah, we're going to have a bachelor party in Las Vegas. Just me and you. No cameras. Very odd. Michael continues to say suspect stuff on the camera, and it's revealing some stuff about him that I don't think I want to know. So y'all, Karen shows up late, even though she said she wasn't going to come. All the ladies are sitting around talking, and they finally decide to ask her, like, what were you planning? You told me to come at 5:15, 5:30, and Monique to come early too, but then you told me to come earlier. So what would you have done if we showed up at the same time? And Karen's response was simply, you wouldn't have done that. Woo, sometimes Karen just seems so mature, so classy, but whenever Karen is on her bullshit, y'all, she be on her bullshit. And it is so annoying because it's almost as if she thinks everyone around her is dumb. Or either she just thinks they're undeserving of the truth and she sticks to her guns. Karen saying, the truth will come out, and Candace is screaming, you know the truth. Michael being nosy, he is literally Peter. He's Peter Thomas of Real Housewives of Potomac. He walks over to Chris, trying to start some shit because keep in mind, he already told Ashley he don't see it for Candace or Chris. And he says, hey, he taps him on the shoulder, hey man, control your wife. And to me, what he said was just disrespectful. Control your wife? Like, don't talk about his wife in that type of tone. So Chris says, I think you need to get out my face. And Michael says, well, I think you need to shut up. So Chris takes his finger, he turns around and he walks Michael out, like, get out my face. He walks him with his finger. Michael says, everybody's like, oh, what's happening? Michael says, he hit me. He pushed me. He pushed me. And bravo, y'all did a really good job to slow down that clip so we could see the bullshit. He did not push you. Well, he escorted you with his finger. He didn't push you, and he definitely didn't hit you. So he kept calling him a redneck. Michael kept calling Chris a redneck, lowlife, da-da-da-da. Candace walks over, and Candace isn't really saying anything. The person who sets it off between the wives, in my opinion, is Ashley. Ashley says, oh, so you want to talk about Monique not having any self-control? You don't have any self-control. Like, Ashley, you in that ponytail need to go sit down. So Candace starts yelling, saying, okay, well, Michael, if you want to hit me, then hit me. And security comes, and Michael, like the rich white man he is, says, who's touching me? Why are you touching me? Security, get your hands off me. Like, Michael is drunk, belligerent, losing his mind. Candace and Chris end up leaving, and on the way out, Karen and Ray walk out, and Karen's trying to take on this big sis role again. Okay, I think you guys should go home. This is just so sad, and gives Candace a hug. I'm like, Karen, give it up. Give it up. You don't have to act like you have this big sis role for Candace. Like, you can't give Candace the short end of the stick and then at the same time say that your loyalty to her hasn't changed at all. I don't agree with that. So while Candace and Chris leave, Michael is upstairs about to go off on production. He's drunk, super drunk. While you're calling Chris a redneck, that's exactly what you look like, Michael. And Ashley's screaming, you're embarrassing me. Why are you doing this? And y'all, that pretty much was it. They do the little recaps of everybody. So Candace and Chris are going to start baby making in the fall, which is now. And Karen and Ray seem to be doing really well. Again, they have a partnership. Karen is still being an entrepreneur. Giselle is still dating Jamal Bryant, but they don't plan to live together anytime soon. And supposedly her girls are more inviting of their relationship. I don't believe it. He wasn't even at the party last night. We'll see. I haven't seen anything else of Giselle and Jamal Bryant on my social media either. So are they together? Are they not? Giselle got through an entire season of lying about a man who lives on her phone. Wendy still doesn't want to be a professor. Her mom is proud of her, but still wants the bragging rights of her being a professor. Robin and Juan are finally engaged and they plan to have a destination wedding. And Ashley and Michael are pregnant with baby number 2. And like they always say every single season after some mess is that their relationship is stronger than ever. Secure the bag, sis. So y'all, my questions for y'all tonight is, number 1, what do y'all think about Karen saying that Candace just magically wouldn't have shown up late to the thing? Do y'all think Karen was plotting? Is Karen on her bullshit or not? The next question I have, y'all, is just go ahead and tell me what y'all think about the Michael versus Chris thing. Like, it was a hot mess. Michael was definitely in the wrong, because if I was Chris, I would have told him the same thing and I would have backed him up off me just like he did. But other than that, y'all, I think we had a really good season. The good parts are coming up because we're finally getting to reunion. So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss those videos. Like and comment, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.